Just another beautiful day in the Territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jade.
Tom! High on, mate, straight out! Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball. Play on! Yeah! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Turn and go, quick give, run, all right? Open it right up now, all right? I reckon we're sort of still cruising along, eh? We're still in cruise mode. So let's take it to the next level now. Let's take him to the sword straight up. Hands in. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Lot of voice now, lot of voice, lot of talk. All right, make sure, finish off now. 1, 2, 3, make boys! What?
And welcome to TIO Stadium here, round 5. This NTFL match between Palmerston in the black and white up against Waratah in the red and white. It's quarter time and Palmerston lead 3-4 to 1-2. Keaton Holt-Tubbs has kicked a couple for Palmerston and Sam Audio one, and the single goal to Waratah, their best player up forward, Luke Harder, has won earlier today. Big game between Southern Districts and St Mary's. Massive win for Southern Districts by 69 points, 19 goals, 9 to St Mary's 7-12, and Will Farrer led the way for Southern Districts with 9 goals, but best on ground was Jared Brennan. The former AFL player was just sensational. And joining me in commentary is Jared Eiler. Jared, what have you made of this game?
Good afternoon, Charlie. Yeah, a little bit of a late start and a little bit of a late gathering of the team sheets, but we'll ensure that's rectified next week. But a bit of a messy start. Palmerston certainly getting most of the football. Waratah's not able to get across pretty much the half-forward line, and obviously with the scoring shots 7-2, Palmerston taking the ascendancy early.
Let's see how they can go here in this second quarter. 3 quarters in front of us. They've had a horror season, Tars. They did last year. They won the first game and then didn't win one for, I think, 15 in a row. Well, the same here. They've won one and they've been towed up. They were belted by Nightcliff last week by 115 points, and it doesn't look good for them here today as well. Palmerston seem to have their measure. Free kick comes out of the middle. It's a Palmerston free kick. Where can they go with it? A thumping kick, long kick downfield. Leroy Jett has been terrific player. Spillage straight into the hands of Alwyn Davey. Got in space, couldn't get clear. Handball came away. Keaton Holt-Tubbs, he kicked a couple of goals in that first quarter. Tried to get himself clear. He gave it off to his teammate. Sharp goes for goal. Round the body, kicks it.
Yeah, Aaron Sharp, he didn't want to give the slip of the handball there to the coach and Alwyn Davey, and he was on his left side, the right side for him. But he got the job done, so good goal, Aaron Sharp.
Goal up forward, so they extend their lead here. Sharp joins the goal kickers. He's got his first for the match, and Palmerston 4-4 now, 1 goal to Waratah. And it's been a pretty hot day here, 33 degrees I think earlier on, Jared, but it's just getting cooler now later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, players will be begging for that shade from the stadium to come across the ground as soon as possible. And, we did see the umpires utilise the shade as well, so it is pretty warm out there.
And this young umpire out there now, Ben Griffiths, debut today.
Yeah, welcome, Ben. Great achievement. Hopefully it's the start of a long and successful career.
He's just a young fella. He's got control of it at the moment, but we'll focus on the players. Jetta with a handball out. Gives it to Aaron Davey on the wing. Gets onto the left boot. Punches to 50. Dropped it in a little short. He couldn't get to it. Aaron Sharper kicked the goal a short time ago. They try to run out of defence. That's Krinjic. They got to him, put him to ground, and he didn't get rid of it, and he's been penalised. So the free kick for the big ruckman. What do we know about this big fella?
Yeah, not a lot, other than he's actually a big boy, quite fit, and obviously a big kick, so he's going to be pretty handy for Palmerston.
Daniel Russell, he's turned it over. Big mark in defence there. Angus Clark, another big man for Tars. Gave it off to a mate of his in Blake. Blake runs from the back pocket, kicks it out wide. Bouncing ball out in front of Frankie Robinson. Ball towards the boundary line, seen safely over there by Justin Emery for the Palmerston Magpies.
And we see Justin Bugler into the Waratahs team for the first time this season, so they're going to need his leadership to start kicking in, start to bring players along with him as Waratahs build their campaign for this season.
And the reason, of course, he hasn't come in is he has some restrictions because of his Thunder commitments.
Yep. Quite often the word restrictions get used, but it's management, Charlie. That's the word. But it is. 12 months of footy for the players. You need to manage them through a pretty high level of footy, and that's what the rules are there for.
But it does restrict the player from having a game. And Thunder, for those who don't know, is a territory side that plays in the NEFL competition. They won the premiership last year. Terrific game of footy it was as well.
Absolutely. The Thunder's third premiership for 2015. The Thunder won in 2011 the Northern Conference premiership and the overall cross-conference championship as well.
Alistair Darcy decides to kick to himself and then he pumps it out wide, short of the wing. Players set themselves. Front position down there for Tars was big Hayden Kellaway. He couldn't get it. Now the kick along the boundary line to the interchange area will safely go over. Chased out there by Justin Emery, and with him, close behind him, was Frankie Robinson. So boundary umpire to bring it back in.
As we see a few changes, Charlie, so that's obviously the heat coming into play there, and the players and the coaches managing their players as best as possible. Alwyn Davey and Aaron Lonergan coming off for a spell.
You rarely see in Darwin two big fellas like we're seeing doing the ruck work out there, Angus Clark and Daniel Russell. We were watching the game earlier on. St Mary's ruckman came up from Division 2. He was a half-forward flanker
Yeah.
He wasn't a ruckman.
Yeah, well, look, actually, Waratahs, Palmerston and Buffaloes have done pretty well in recruiting big guys to their teams and to the competition.
There's room for more of them up here, I reckon, although the conditions don't suit. Knocked over the boundary line that time for Tars by Thomas Brown. I think people get a bit interested, the big men get interested after Christmas, I think, when the rains come. We haven't had any rain for a while. It's a wet season up here. We play out of season for that reason. Hurried kick for Tars up forward, off the boot there of McDonald. Handball back in play. Got clear there by Broderick Church. McDonald going for the footy, trying to pick it up. They pushed him in the back. Umpire, says those Waratah supporters. Kick up towards the wing. It's not going to go the distance. Couple of grabs at it there for Tars. Nick Gooch, umpire says no. Wasn't a mark, nor did it travel the required distance, I wouldn't have thought, Jared.
No. And we see Michaelis McMaster's involved in that passage of play, and he's from Alice Springs. Previously played with the Darwin Buffaloes, and he's lightning quick, and he's a great pickup for the Palmerston Magpies.
Little tap from the back, front position Tars down there through Timmy Jenkins over the top of it. Interesting game going on over at the Tiwi Islands. We'll give you a score when we can. Tiwi Bombers were leading Wanderers, the Premiers, by I think 2 goals at three-quarter time. I think Wanderers have kicked 3 in a hurry in the last term and have put their noses in front halfway through the final term. Once we get a final score, we will share it with you for sure. Cole just landed a little bit short, but he ran onto it and did pretty well. Did Sam Audio. Kicked the goal in the first quarter, gets around his body, kicks forward. Good defensive work getting back there. They knocked it clear, did Alistair Darcy, and a minor score. That's Darcy there. Tiwi Islander, isn't he, Darcy? I'm sure he is. Kicks out and gives it to Fraser Jennings.
He's been one of their consistent players, Charlie, for Waratahs in the back line there, quite reliable. And he took the early leap on Keaton Holt-Tubbs there. He's taken one of the marks of the season when he debuted for Thunder this season.
Cringy got involved with that earlier on, and Fraser Jennings finishes up with it up forward of the wing, kicks it down into the forward line. They want Luke Harder. Now, you're telling us Luke Harder signed in the SANFL?
Yeah, reports come through that he signed for Glenelg. His mate, Matthew Loken, is the coach. He's formerly played with the Port Adelaide Magpies, but highly rated in the SNFL, and he's get another crack at it.
That's him there, number 26, gave the handball away, and Abe Anchors has a bit of a shot, minor score.
Good to see Abe Anchors up as well. He's an Alice Springs guy as well, and he a couple of years back he actually was a big part of the Waratahs squad. So to see him back early in the season and get some fitness and build on his campaign is good for Waratahs.
Russell Davey got it and lost it. Spent it before he had it. Loose ball pounced on there by Godden. Godden goes for goal, misses it out to the left. In fact, he missed everything. Kicked it out of bounds on the full. Jared, talk to us a bit about pressure in footy. When you're trying to get kicks away like that, you're 20 metres out in front, and then the pressure causes you to miss everything.
Yeah, and you can't really train for that, Charlie. It's something that you just have to develop and learn quickly in the early parts of the season. So the players just have to take confidence out of their teammates with some voice, but you're only going to get better as the season goes on.
And when players close in on you when you're about to having a kick and you're conscious of them, it changes your whole kicking style, doesn't it? And that's where you get yourself into trouble.
That's right, and that's where your teammates need to help you out in terms of shepherd, in terms of voice, give you a bit more time and space to use the footy cleanly.
Emery brings it out of defence, kicks it out wide to the wing, puts it out in front of Hibbard. Hibbard chasing the footy, pressure comes from Brown for Tars. Hibbard won, did well, kicked it up towards half forward. Ball bounces over the top, hits the ground, cleaning up at the back was the very busy Alistair Darcy. He saved him a few times, kicks it out wide to the wing, bouncing ball out in front of Fraser Jennings. He just keeps it in the field of play, goes to the corridor, 3-on-1 here, but the mark taken by Tars, good mark taken by Valastro, and he had to take it because they were closing everywhere. There's a bump in the back on Dan Simpson. Umpire says it's all okay, he'll play it on. Kicked it out wide again, parked under the footy. Sammy Talbot couldn't take the mark. Left on the ground, hand over the footy was Sam Audio. He didn't get it. In goes Bugler looking for it for Tars, didn't get it. And now Palmerston can get out of trouble, can they? I think they can. Use a handball out wide, and away they go up towards the half-forward line to Jetta, and Jetta takes a strong mark. He's a good player, takes it in front of Blake and then shrugged him off. Onto the left boot he went. Good kick, rolled it up towards 50. Put it down there for Shanahan. And Shanahan caught up, goes to ground because he was wrapped up by the octopus. Alistair Darcy, he's all over him.
That is a great tackle there, and should give the Tars defence a bit of confidence.
Big Daniel Russell nowhere to go. Now Darcy's been invited to play on. He was playing cats and mouse there for a moment. That's a bit of a high tackle too. Ball's going to go over the boundary line here.
Yeah, not a great choice there by Lester Darcy, and it probably just highlights the fact that there's not a lot of tall timber in the Waratahs team. The option was just to go down the line, but if you look down the line, it's one-on-one contest between Sam Talbot and Sam Audio, so he didn't have a lot of options there.
Isn't it better, though, to take it further downfield than to be stuck inside your defensive 50? Like, if you have to make the choice in the end to stay there and try and beat someone to go over the longer kick, wouldn't you go longer kick? That's Darcy under the footy. Jetta gets it. Handball was good. Gave it out here to Palmerston through Stevenson. Stevenson straightens it up into the corridor. All red and whites there. They might be able to run this away. Trying to pick it up was Cringy. Cringy hard over the footy. Comes away with it. They've got him. Tried to get his handball out. He couldn't get clear with it. In the way was Alwyn Davey. Ball gets to the ground. Goes low in the tackle on Simpson. Might have drawn the free kick.
They just look very dangerous, don't they, Palmerston, especially with Alwyn Davey just floating around the packs there, and he had 3 or 4 efforts trying to get the ball loose.
He looks like just a boy, that umpire. How old is he, Jared?
Oh, it's 6. No, that's his number. Someone told me 16, but that's his number.
I reckon that's a goal there to McMasters. Runs in and kicks the goal. They got onto some pretty sloppy play, and cleaning up was McMasters kicks the goal.
Yeah, just the ball outside of the contest there, with the ball up and the ball getting outside to the players like McMasters, who's lightning quick, very skillful, and a nice snap to seal the goal.
Talk me through Waratah. What is going on here? Here's a team that come out, had a terrific win in round 1, and then from that point on, they have been just thrashed by so many teams. Last year, almost exactly the same thing. Won the first game and then belted from that point on. What's going on? What's happening here?
Yeah, I think they're a little bit unsettled, Charlie. They've had a few ins and outs across the first 3 or 4 rounds of the season, and when the last time we called them, Tim McCauley, Travis Graham and Darcy Graham were in the team. They're really good contributors for them. They're recruits, good contributors, but they're not here today, and I think they're unsettled.
Okay, McMasters with his kick forward. Pretty good inside 50 mark taken. So chance here for a shot.
You also add players like Dominic Barry into the Waratahs team. They start to look a lot better, look more structured, more experienced, but at the moment I think the balance is not quite right. A lot of young players, a lot of ins and outs every week.
Aaron Sharp loads up, kicks that goal. He misses out to the far side, minor score. That's him there, number 18. The black and white team, Palmerston. They changed their strip this year. It used to be the old Collingwood strip all those years ago, didn't it? The black and white vertical stripes. It's changed many ways since then. Big climb at the back there. That was Frankie Robinson. I think he's given away a free kick. If you jump high, you've got to take the mark, don't you? You can't. You get in the way of someone.
He didn't quite get up there on Sammy Audio's back, so next time, not advised to do that.
Tim Jenkins couldn't get it for Tars. Might have drawn a free kick. He did. So he's got the free kick outside defensive 50. Hard as his target finds him. Took his eye off the footy. Now he's in trouble. Shrugged the tackle. He did pretty well to get away, and then he handballed it as he was caught. And he's lucky to get away with that. Tars get to him the Magpies get to him in a hurry, but they've given away a free kick.
Very lucky there. Harder dropping an easy mark, but team support. I think his bugler was able to create a bit of pressure and get the free kick.
The Thunder fullback, representative fullback as well, kicks nicely. Gives it to Angus Clark. So Clark looks for a lead going out to his right, then decided not to go there. Drops it a little short outside 50. Made it pretty difficult for Nicholson. Nicholson's clean-up work was good. Gets inside 50. Goes for goal with the left boot. Good-looking kick from Nicholson, and I reckon he might have kicked it. He did. Good goal, Nicholson. I like that, Jared. Take on the responsibility yourself and kick the goal.
Yeah, very nice left foot kick there, and he worked himself into space, took on the player in front of him, and sealed the deal. So great goal, especially needed for Waratahs in this point of the game.
Probably need someone to really stand up today. You need some good, you need some multiple goal kickers, don't you? Guys that can kick 3 or 4. You get, 2 guys and kick 3 or 4 goals, all of a sudden you've got 6 or 8 goals.
Yeah, that's right. And in that passage of play, Luke Harder was actually caught up the ground. He needed to come up the ground and to get the possession, and he's normally the target, but on that occasion, good finish.
So no one clear from the middle. Tars are going to try and get clear. They can't through Jenkins. Finishes up with Alwyn Davey. Sends it back down towards the half-forward line now. Off the boot of Palmerston. Good kick inside 50. Ball not clear to the 50-metre line. And Palmerston on the charge out. They were held. Umpire's blown the whistle. Can be a free kick. I think here to Tars. It might go to Holt Tubbs. Gave the handball off. And that's a shocking kick. Sam Audio, he just didn't get a purchase on that at all. It went to Sam Talbot in the back pocket. He couldn't believe his luck. It came to him. He went out wide to Angus Clark. Runs away from half back out towards the wing. Good kick. Gave it to Darcy out there. Comes back. Nice kick into the centre of the ground. Ball dropped there by Godden. And then the turnover. Heenan's kick was a beauty. He's got the runners going forward. McMasters will go for goal and kick it. Good goal. Good run.
A great transfer of play. That's twice now Waratahs have tried to come through the centre corridor and fumbled the footy and dropped an easy mark. But you give McMasters a bit of space and Patrick Heenan a bit of space is going to carve you up every time.
It's a good goal.
Very good goal. And just going back to Waratah's last goal and Daniel Nicholson in the left footer there, kicking the goal from Victoria. Rookie listed to the Melbourne Football Club. Played a bit of footy with Aaron Davey, who's an opponent of his today. But from 2011 to 2014, played 32 games and kicked 4 goals for the Melbourne Football Club.
McDonald it was out on that far side there. I thought it was Darcy doing the work out there for Tars, but it was McDonald who's been fairly busy. Palmerston doing some work through Pierce Little. What a big game from Pierce Little. He was a skipper of the side for quite some time. Finished up with Emery. Emery's kick puts the bouncing ball out in front of Hibbert. Hibbert didn't get it. Wasn't able to pick up a clear ball. Dropping the ball was Abe Ankers. And they got into his back and gave away a free kick. So the Alice Springs player unloads. He's got a runner in Alistair Darcy. Darcy's kick out wide. The big climb out there came from Justin Bugler. Ball hits the ground. You like to see, teams retain possession with half a dozen kicks, 4 or 5 kicks. When it just keeps getting turned up, just makes it a scrappy affair, doesn't it? It's a skill level thing, I reckon.
It is, and the skills should be getting better and better as the season goes on. And I think for Waratah's sake, getting the ball clear to the open play and getting into the forward line very quickly works better for them.
Hatcher gave it to Robinson. Robinson goes, tried to get it over the top. He was trying to get it off to Basil Althouse. It didn't get to him. Palmerston won it, gave it to McMaster. Comes away with the kick up towards the centre of the ground. Bouncing ball. They ran hard at it, Palmerston. Through Sharp, who kicked a goal in the first quarter. That's him again. He tried to weave his way through and give it to Aaron Davey. Here's Davey. Put him to ground. And Palmerston couldn't go forward, and they gave it over, and Tars can win it and kick it out wide to the wing into the hands of Jeffrey McDonald. Goes towards centre half forward with the kick. It wasn't a good kick. Running past Fraser Jennings. High tackle over the top there. Umpire will pay a free kick to Ankers, I reckon. Definitely will be paid. Ankers to get up there, got the ball in his hand. He wasn't giving that up.
This is the next kick, Charlie, that lets them down most of the time. So let's see what they can do. They've hit the 50-metre line. And Angus Clark here, who is a big kick. Tough angle, though. See what he can do. The Waratahs certainly need a goal.
I went down to Gardens Oval the other night and I sat outside for a while and I watched them train. And they looked okay. I mean, they did. It looked like a complicated training session, you know. They had lots of things all over the ground. They had to run through and do all sorts of tricks. But they look to be training okay. Their skill level looks okay. It's just ground, game day, it costs them a bit of price. A good kick from Angus Clark. Clark started out to the left and let it drift back in. It's always hard to kick a goal from out there. No problem for Angus Clark. The big man kicks the goal.
That's a sensational goal. That's got to lift their spirits a lot. Give their on-ballers a bit of confidence. They've just struggled to get the ball cleanly through the centre corridor, and if they can, they're very dangerous. So just concentration through the middle, and they should get a few more scoring shots and inside 50s.
So final score from over on the Tiwi Islands. Wanderers have come home with a wet sail to win by 5 points in the end, 17-12 to 16-13 was a good win for the Eagles.
Oh, and that's a shame. Tiwi would have been up and about for Bradley Palmerton's 200th combined life membership of the NTFL footy, and it's a shame they couldn't get a win for him on the islands, but Wanderers are the reigning premiers, and that's why.
They've been pulling off the wins, impossible wins. That's another one where they finished strongly to win it. They did that last weekend, Southern Districts. This kick was a good one. Keaton Holt-Tubbs, a couple of goals in the game, takes the mark inside 50. So we're hoping to have our boundary rider on the boundary after half-time, Jared. That's our dream. That's our plan.
Oh, we've got big plans for this, Charlie. We've got big plans for this production, and we'll get there. But we see Keaton Holt-Tubbs line up for his third goal, and he's very lively up forward for the Palmerston Magpies.
He's gone back a long way. He's got the long run up. It's about 30 metres between him and Darcy on the mark. Then he gets in close, punches at goal, misses, minor score, off to the left.
And while we wait for Justin Bugler to kick the ball back in, I'll just touch on Bradley Palmerton for the Tiwi Bombers. He was the first Tiwi Islander to play the 50 games for NT Thunder. He ended up with 65 in total, 134 NTFL games, and that gives him the life membership.
Yes, just reward for him, the Godden kick. And the runner chasing its anchors, and he's done well down towards hug the boundary line out there. And they get it over the boundary line. They went the long route, but they're down in the forward line now, Tars. 19 minutes gone, second term, 6-7 Waratahs. Actually, that score's the wrong way around, I reckon. That you can see up there, it's actually Palmerston, 6 goals, 8 leading Waratah 3-3.
Absolutely. Spot on, Charlie. Good pickup. We'll continue to call it that way.
Back of players, ball knocked to ground. Yeah, so ignore that score. It's almost the other way around. In fact, it's Palmerston 6-8 leading Waratah 3-3. Palmerston a chance here with Jetta. He can go all the way. Jetta can go all the way here. Gets inside 50. He's going to go over the top, and he misses again. Gee, that's a bad miss. He got a bit leg weary towards the end, didn't he?
That's the heat. That's the conditions of NT footy. No matter how hardened you are, and he's an ex-AFL player, you just need to adapt to the conditions.
Darcy to Godden to Bugler. Kicks it out wide to the wing. They've got extra players here, Tars. Cool under pressure. Hatcher goes round the corner. Not a bad looking kick, but gave Tars gave Palmerston a bit of a chance. Some good work done, McDonald. Off the boot now of Daniel Russell. Kicked it out towards the wing. Keeping the ball in play. Did he keep it in play? I think he might have. It's a clever play there by Lachlan Durkay. Wants Jetta. The big man somehow got through there. He's going to be in trouble. He took him on and he couldn't get through in the end, Daniel Russell.
A little bit ambitious on that occasion. Sammy Godden sticking a good tackle on the big guy.
Well, the big guy needs it. Opening about 3 metres wide, isn't he?
That's right.
He's too big to try and sneak through there. Hatcher under pressure, scrambled the kick away. Pierce Little on the clean-up. And then his kick is good. See, that's a good kick to a teammate. Running down, good mark taken down there by Damaso. Jamie Damaso punches inside 50. Good defensive work. Bugler, good defender back there, wins it again. Goes with the right boot. He's got a chance to kick it off. And he couldn't. He was hoping for Luke Harder, but it didn't get to him. It's gone to Tars. It's gone to Palmerston instead of bring it back. And then they turn it over straight into the hands here of Alistair Darcy. Darcy picking up another possession. Runs across the defensive 50, takes a bounce. And then drops the kick in just a little too short, made it hard for Hatcher. And the clean-up came from Palmerston, done well. Holt kicks it inside 50. And the mark taken there for Palmerston. Good strong mark taken down there by Aaron Lonigan.
Aaron Lonigan, a bit stiff to miss out on the premiership team with NT Thunder this year, but he's certainly a hard-nosed player, and he'll make the most of his opportunity with Palmerston this year.
Played a fair bit of the season, though, didn't he?
He did. He was in most weeks. High-quality player.
Kicks a goal. He's missed out to the right. So they're all misfiring at the moment. That's a minor score.
Yeah, and the turnovers for Waratahs are just hurting them and killing them at the moment. Tim Weatherall, as coach, will be a little bit frustrated. See what he has in place to try and rectify that, but it's a bit difficult when the players are dropping easy marks.
6-10 to 3-3. Palmerston in front. They're trying to bust their way through. That was Aaron Sharp. He's dangerous down there, Sharp. Trying to bust his way out is Kenaway. He can't get clear. Darcy again. Forces it out towards the defensive 50. Hand went over the top there. It's going to be a free kick to Tars here, Westerberg. Advantage paid. Running with the flight of the ball, Frankie Robinson. He lost it and was cleaned up by Nicholson. Nicholson down towards the forward line. Good kick too. But good defensive work. Palmerston down there through Damaso. Calling for it, and he's going to get it as well as Stevenson. And Stevenson now, we'll see Davey upfield. Which Davey? Alwyn Davey. Look at that for a kick in. Gilt-edged stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, that left foot of his is just sublime, and you give him space. And at the moment, Waratahs aren't making Palmerston play any sort of defence. They're just turning the ball over and allowing them free space.
Here's Sharp. He lines. That's a good kick. That's a good goal from him. He's got two, and they both come in this quarter. Aaron Sharp kicks his second. Palmerston take a pretty strong hold on the game here. 24 minutes gone second term. 7-10, Waratah 3-3.
And that's just as dangerous as you're going to get from Aaron Sharp. He's very lively in the forward line. Give him a little bit more fitness and he should be able to work his way through the midfield. But he's a super talent. He's from Central Australia as well, and I think he had links to Collingwood at some stage. But he's another super talent for Palmerston.
So almost half time here. If you missed that score earlier on, Wanderers came from behind over at Warramayunga on the Tiwi Islands to knock the Bombers over 17-12 to 16-13. After the Tiwi Bombers took a couple of goals lead into the last term. I think Shane Thorne had a bit to do with that. I think got 3 in the last quarter. Gee, that's good judgment, isn't it? Darcy just comes from around the back. He stood behind as though he wasn't interested. Then he ran around the front and took the mark. Siren brings it to an end the first half. Palmerston comfortably in front here. 7-10 to Waratah 3-3. They kicked 4 goals to 2 in that quarter. Palmerston to extend their lead from quarter time. Let's get some comments from Jared Eiler.
Yeah, obviously a scrappy game of footy up until half-time, Charlie. Waratahs, I think they get enough of the football, and the defence is creating pressure against their forward line opponents, but just coming through the midfield, they're just turning the ball over, and Palmerston don't have to chase really. They can just sweat off the mistakes and turn the footy over. And when you got the Davey boys in space, Aaron Sharp in space, and Michaelis McMasters in space, they're always going to hurt you.
14 points the margin at quarter time to Palmerston. They extend it to 31 at half time. Palmerston leading Waratah here in this round 5 NTFL match from the TIO Stadium in Darwin. Palmerston 7-10, Waratah 3-3.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jane.
Tom! Higher, Maddie, straight out! Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball. Play on!
houseboat woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
Sea-Link run ferries to and from the Tiwi Islands for the Tiwi Bombers 4 home games. Book today at sealinknt.com.au. Sea-Link run ferries to and from the Tiwi Islands for the Tiwi Bombers 4 home games. Book today at sealinknt.com.au.
Deliberate out of bounds. Umpires will continue to be instructed to penalise players who intentionally handball, kick, carry or force the ball out of play. This includes walking the ball over the boundary line. Ruckmen will continue to be penalised for intentionally knocking the ball out of bounds from a ruck contest, regardless of whether the ball crosses a line on the full or bounces prior to the crossing of the boundary line. The following are all examples of deliberate out of bounds.
Cheney heads for the boundary. This will be an interesting call. Deliberate, says the umpire.
Impey, that will be deliberately out of bounds if it goes out of bounds. And it does. Yes.
Kicks to full forward, getting back. Oh, gee, is that deliberate umpire? Yes, it is.
Zero tolerance to abuse. The umpires will continue to apply a zero tolerance to abuse or demonstrative behaviour. Players who infringe in this area will be penalised accordingly.
Free kick against you, Courtney Dempsey. Abuse.
50-metre penalties. 50-metre penalties will continue to be awarded against a player who cribs the mark or enters the protected area after the set kick has been established, delays the play by preventing an opponent from moving the ball on quickly, uses abusive language or demonstrative behaviour towards an umpire, or engages in other conduct for which a free kick would ordinarily be awarded. In this example, Wellingham cribs the mark and is correctly penalised 50 metres. Cochin encroaches into the 5-metre protected area and is correctly penalised 50 metres.
Young Jack Vye tried to smother the kick. You can't do that.
Bruce delays the play by knocking Newman to the ground after he has clearly controlled the mark and has correctly penalised 50 metres.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7 metre tyre.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Kmart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Kmart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Make your job easy.
Jane.
Tom. Fire, Maddie, straight out. Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball. Play on. All clear.
You are one of 140,000 people living in a cyclone-affected area this wet season. You need food and at least 10 litres of water per person in your cyclone kit to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Be prepared. Brought to you by NTES and TIO.
And we welcome you back to the TIO Stadium here. Teams make their way back out onto the ground after the half-time break, where Palmerston took in a 31-point lead, 7-10 to Waratah, 3-3. They led by 14 points at quarter-time, kicked 4 goals to 2 in the second term, and looked to be in a pretty commanding position. Let's see what Waratah got left in those legs and what have they got in their game plan. Jared Eilert with me. Jared, just quickly, those other results today. Southern Districts beat your old team, St Mary's, by 69 points. That might be a record win for Southern Districts over St Mary's, I reckon. I can't remember them having a bigger win than that.
I'll roll with you on that one, Charlie. It probably is.
And Wanderers come from behind to knock over the Tiwi Bombers over on Warramiyunga, over on the Tiwi Islands, 17-12 to 16-13. This game, what's in front of us for the second half?
Yeah, look, if Waratahs can sharpen up their skills and hit targets and take the marks, they will certainly put themselves in a position to challenge Palmerston. They're just not getting Palmerston to play any sort of defence, not challenging them to make tackles or chase or anything like that. Palmerston just have to sweat off the mistakes at this point in time and kicking easy goals. So a bit of pressure, defensive tackles, that kind of thing to get Waratahs back in the game.
Do you see any winners out there for TARS that can swing this game? We saw Angus Clark start to get involved a little bit. You mentioned Luke Harder earlier on, re-signed in the SANFL. What about other players there, Godden, so on?
Yeah, Alistair Darcy, he's already stamped himself in the game, and if he can sharpen up his skills, they'll certainly help them out. Sammy Talbot is one that is certainly capable of getting plenty of the football. Sam Godden, as you mentioned, Justin Bugler, Abraham Hankey. So they've certainly got some names in there that can win the football and put a bit of pressure on Palmerston. But yeah, just the fundamental basic errors are really hurting them at the moment.
Let's see what they can do. The Red and Whites in all sorts of trouble. Win in the first round, then they've lost the next 3 in a row, and here they are in round 5. And it might be 4 in a row after winning the first one. What can they turn around this second half? They're down by 31 points. Can they get an early goal? They won the tap. Angus Clark did pretty well. Handball came out from a whole scramble pack in the middle. Good gather in there by Cringy. It's not the worst of their players. Kicked by Stevenson, they got it forward for Palmerston. Just all a little too easy, straight into the hands of Holt Tubbs. So what went wrong there for Waratahs in all of that? They won the tap, they had their hands on the footy, and it got turned over, bang, inside the forward line.
Clean possession, Charlie, just a clean possession off the deck, handball, kick the ball forward. I guess it's really getting back to basics at that point in time. But when we did call Waratahs a few rounds back, they played out the game. They pushed, they worked through the 4 quarters to give themselves a chance. So hopefully they can do that.
Keaton Holt Tubbs from a long way out, goes for goal and doesn't miss. And that doesn't help if you're trying to rebuild, that the opposition get it off you and from a long way out kick a goal.
Yeah, that's not how you want to start the third quarter, but Keaton Holt Tubbs gets his third. He's very lively up forward, and yeah, that's pressure through the midfield. Next centre bounce will be quite crucial.
Have they got a game plan that you can see in Waratah? Is there a plan there, something that's not working, or they've got something that they're trying to work on? Nothing.
Nothing apparent at the moment, Charlie. I mean, trying to bring the ball through the corridor is something that was pretty obvious, but at the moment it's just one-on-one footy. Let's get some pressure and intensity around the ball and get the ball into the forward 50 as quickly as possible.
So here's Jennings. Now he used the handball. They're going to go push themselves really wide here, Godden. Goes out a long way, and that kick again doesn't give your teammates that much of a chance. Is it a skill thing? Is it about not finding... Like, you control the ball out of the middle, and then that next kick, you've got to find a target, don't you?
Yeah, and field position as well. So there wasn't a lot of options up forward. Mind you, they win the centre clearance, and they had the option to go forward, but they've ended up going wide. So lack of confidence as well.
The going wide thing I'm a bit interested in, why teams want to go wide all the time and then try and work it around. Then you've got to have 3 or 4 more possessions to get it forward. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, sometimes if you transfer it wide and you can bring it back the other way, you open up the space on the other side of the field. And for players like Sam Audio or Luke Harder for Waratahs in particular, space on the other side is gold. So that could be part of the game plan, Charlie. We'll just see how it's executed.
Now here's Tars going for it. Harder underneath the foot. He had 2 grabs at that. He had 3 to beat. They took it off him though, Palmerston. Jetta with a handball out wide. Went straight to Waratah. They can bring it back in again. Kick down towards the forward line. Parkland at Oldhouse got his hands on it. Dropped the mark. He went to ground. High kick from a pack up and under. Through for a minor score. So they worked hard. Jeffrey McDonald missed when he really could have got a goal. Oldhouse should have held the mark really.
Yeah, he was in the prime position, wasn't he? But Luke Harder's obviously the focal point and couldn't quite hang on to that mark either. Exciting stuff. Hopefully they can create the turnover here.
Rowan Smith goes searching for the big man down there. Russell couldn't take the mark. Palmerston win it. The spillage comes out in the direction of Fraser Jennings. Goes forward. The opposite number 1 at 1,000,000 miles an hour. McMaster's get to it. Gets onto the right boot. Comes around with the curling kick. He's looking for a teammate. Finds him too. It was Pierce Little. He had it where he wanted it and then dropped it. Went back through the agency of Russell. Russell with the kick down towards the half forward line. Bouncing ball there. Sits back in play. Lets Alistair Darcy come to it. He couldn't get it. They've won it. Palmerston have won it. Can run into an open goal. Kick at goal. I reckon they've kicked it. Well, you make a mistake, you're going to be penalised.
That's Aaron Sharp, I believe.
It's got 3.
And yeah, the bounce of the ball just eluded everyone on that occasion. But unfortunately for Alistair Darcy, he certainly overran the footy and didn't quite bend down far enough to give himself the best chance to actually scoop it up. And yeah, Sharp will hurt you every time.
But when you'd have a look at that as a coach and say, let's have a look at this passage of play here. This is what's gone wrong. You know, you didn't bend down to pick the ball up, and you know the little mistakes just cost you so much. So Palmerston going on their merry way here. They push it out a little further. Kick 2 goals at the top of this third term. 9-10 now to 3-4. Come from the middle, handball back to the very busy Alwyn Davey. So they've got some players with AFL experience out there, Jared. You were telling me earlier on during the halftime break.
Yeah, absolutely. Palmerston in particular, with obviously Alwyn Davey from the Essendon Bombers and Aaron Davey from the Melbourne Football Club, Leroy Jetta from Essendon as well. So plenty of AFL floating through the NTFL competition, and Daniel Nicholson from the Melbourne Football Club for Waratahs.
Harder underneath the foot. He went there and then they got into his back and gave away a free kick. Simpson it was that got into, it was Simpson I think that got into his back. No, it wasn't. It was Jamie DeMasso. And here's Harder with the footy. Now, can he restore a little bit of energy into his team?
Just need a spark, don't they, Charlie? Someone to put the hand up, kick the goal and build some momentum.
Is he the igniter? He gets to 50. He's got a good hoof on him and he misses it out to the left and he's lucky to squeeze it in for a minor score. So Palmerston going to bring it out onto this the fat side, if you like. There was no one out there. Reckon it's Shanahan in the back pocket, goes short. And then a further kick straight up here into the hands of Church. Broderick Church got runners, 2 options, goes for the one out to the furthest, and he'll crisscross back across the ground and deliver nicely out here to Paddy Heenan. He might have played for Tars, I reckon, last year, didn't he?
He did. He's quite famous for being in the yellow and white.
Durkay, Lachlan Durkay on the run. Kicks up forward, ball lands on the ground. They're going to get there. This man again, Sharp, gave the handball away. Audio ducks his head. Oh, he's clever. Kicks it around towards the pocket. And they're not able to take the mark. Bugler done wonderfully well. It was a smothering effort on the ball. It goes to ground. Palmerston with a snapshot. I reckon they've kicked it from nowhere.
And that's Stevenson. Just forward line pressure. Great smother there from the Palmerston player on Justin Bugler's attempted clearing kick. But forward line pressure gets you those kind of goals, and Zach Stevenson for his first.
One-way traffic at the moment, as it has been for much of the match. Palmerston kick it out even further. 3 goals at the top of this third term, and that all came in 6 minutes. So they're going at 1 every 2 minutes.
Yes. So yeah, just saw Caden Holt-Tubbs there. Not sure if it's just a corgi. He's back on his feet, but he was down on the ground for a while. So we'll watch him closely. Still limping around, but the trainers have left him alone, so he must be okay.
So Aaron Sharp and Keaton Holt-Tubbs have 3 each. They're leading the goal scoring. And this kick down forward to Oldhouse gave him every possible chance. He got in front position.
Great touch there from Abe Ankers, and that's what you want. Straight out of the midfield, centre clearance, straight to your full forward. He gets a shot at goal, and hopefully this is a goal that Waratahs fans are wanting and needing.
This is Big Baz. You can do it, Basil. They need you to do it. He stutters his run in and he kicks nicely at goal. That's a good looking kick. That's a goal. No trouble at all. Althouse kicks the goal, and what they dearly wanted has been delivered by the number 23.
4 more of them, Charlie. That would be exactly what Coach Tim Weatherald would like. Straight out of the midfield, straight to your full forward goal and bring them back into the game.
Now, Althouse, I don't know his story. His name is familiar to me, though, for some reason. But I just can't, for the life of me, work out where that is.
Just goes back to the number of changes that we're seeing happening, in particular with Waratahs. It's hard to keep up.
See if they can get a boost out of that goal. They close the gap a little bit, 10-10 to 4-5. Well, they stopped the runaway train, if nothing else. So Daniel Russell back in there, the number 27. You can see him there for Palmerston. He's a giant of a man, isn't he? That doesn't help him very much. Clark got the tap down, but loose ball to Palmerston on the run. Here they go forward again, Paddy Heenan. Bugler will see it over the boundary line. Might have been intended for Keaton Holt-Tubbs.
Yeah, kick just went over his head. So what we do have with the Palmerston footy team is across the board they've got much better and more quality ball users. So that's something that, if you're going to turn the ball over and it falls in the lap of Alwyn Davey, Aaron Davey, Justin Emery, Aaron Lonergan, it's going to hurt you.
He's a kick. This was Shanahan round his body. Don't tell me he's kicked a goal from that. Yet sometimes you're playing a team who's down on their luck and there's nothing you can do wrong against them. Shanahan kicks the goal.
He had no right to kick that goal, but he did. He pulled something out of nothing. And again, field position, you get the ball into your forward line deep, and anything can happen out of the pack. So great goal there by Shanahan.
Do you know, luck is a funny thing. You know, it'll swing your way and then it swings against you. But sometimes when you're a team that's down and out, it never comes to you. It always works against you. Look at these poor boys here. They must be just feeling terrible. It must be tough to put on that red and white Guernsey every week, I reckon.
Yeah, well, pride in the Guernsey, and this is where it needs to come out. And again, I think just back to basics, one-on-one footy.
Mind you, they weren't looking happy. They didn't look like they were having the time of their lives. I could tell. They won a free kick here. This might make them feel a little bit happier. Clark has been pretty good with his kick, but that's not a good kick. He turns it straight over. And better reading back there in defence. Terrific mark taken back there by Rowan Smith. Davey, up and under kick. Durkay, punched away over the boundary line.
Well, that's all right. The kick went straight to a Palmerston player. They set up the wall. They structured pretty well, Waratahs, to create the turnover, still within a dangerous position.
Now let's see. This is a good battle between Clark and Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, again, we don't get to see too many big guys go one-on-one all day, so that's a great contest for us as fans.
Okay, just a little cute. And now he has to clean it all up himself. What a great scoop up towards the wing, and just went a little too high. Parked underneath the footy was Velastro. Someone's got to want the footy. Oh, that's a high tackle there on the Waratah player. That was cringy. She's unlucky not to get a free kick from that. Frankie Robinson for Tars gets it. Tries to squeeze the handball away. And Palmerston on the clean-up now, backward of the wing, kick out towards the wing. That's going a little too wide, out of bounds on the full. So Tars will bring it back into play at the interchange area in front of the grandstand. This is the Morris Rioli stand we're sitting in.
Yeah, good pressure from Waratahs. Just kept at it. McDonald, Krenyek, Hatcher all involved, and put a bit of pressure on the Palmerston Magpies for the first time.
So Jack Hatcher, name well known at the club. They should just let the big man take that mark, shouldn't they? The players drifting across in front of him really made it difficult, and Justin Emery should stay out of that really and just let Russell take the mark. Here's Russell. He's like old Bill Wedding. Remember Bill Wedding? Used to play for Norwood. He was a ruckman. He used to punch it like 30 metres every time.
That was worth the kick, that one.
They don't do that anymore, ruckman. They don't want to put it to a 50-50. They want it better than that.
That's because they got midfielders screaming at them, Charlie.
Yeah. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Cringy. forwards, got right over the top, rolling ball back there. It'll be a bit of a chance here. Loose ball picked up by Nicholson, went for goals and got it. Scrambly ball, he did the job, he kicked the goal.
Fantastic one-on-one battle there, and get the ball in nice and quick to a one-on-one, and Nicholson with that AFL experience, he's super fit, kept his feet, and nice goal for his second.
So it's good those two guys they got down there in the forward line, Nicholson and Basil Althouse, both kick goals here, which is good news for Tars.
Yeah, and I think that just come through pressure. Just spoke about a couple of minutes ago, one-on-one footy, back to basics, get the body in there, get your hand and head over the footy, and you just create that urgency around the ball, and it gives your forwards a bit of a chance when you get it in quickly.
11-10 to 5-5. They started the comeback. Did he mark that? Gee, I thought he did. Frankie Robinson, maybe he did play on, went searching down there for Nicholson. Nicholson caught. Look at that Palmerston defence. It's just almost like the mosquito plague we're about to get. There's so many of them. Matars come away with a kick. And look at this. Here they are again. They're 3 against 1. And the unnecessary punch really should have been a mark. But here they go running. Heenan with the kick. Sends it out wide. Wants Jetta underneath the footy. Jetta couldn't get it. Good work in by Blake. Ooh, Clark with his head down, cops one right in the head. Ooh, that's not good.
Again, you get your head over the footy, and that was sloppy by Jetta. He had no need to go in with the bump there because Angus Clark had his head over the football, and it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that is extremely dangerous.
But, Clark seems to be okay and preparing himself to take the kick. But there you go, head over the football, you win the free kick and win possession.
Big Angus, here he is. There's not much on offer. He doesn't know where to go. Well, get it out of there is my suggestion. But not towards the opposition ruckman. Shepherd required. And some clever work. He just got his boot on that, did Cringy. He's tried hard today, Cringy. I'm a bit impressed with him, the number 13 for Waratah.
Yep, they need a few more in there, helping him out. But get your body in there, get in the way. As we see Waratah's play go to ground in the back play, not too sure why. But play continues.
Yep, scramble kick anchors. Alice Springs player sent it down. Althouse come in looking for it. It didn't go to him. He's on the outside of all of this. Tars with the clean up. They've done pretty well. Althouse is in space if they can get it to him. They can't. They'll go just a little too long. He made it really difficult for him, went over the top. And the loose ball gathered up and the kick at goal is going to miss from Alistair Darcy, minus score.
Yeah, opportunity going begging there, and I think that was McDonald. But
Brother McDonald, yes.
Yeah, if they can get the ball in nice and quick, they're certainly structuring themselves when they've got that forward play. It's just when they turn the ball over and going back the other side, it doesn't quite work out for them.
Darcy's deep in defence at the other end of the ground. That's hard running from Mitch Holt for Palmerston. That's a good kick. Straight into the hands there of Zach Stevenson. Kicked the goal in this quarter. Ball punched towards the boundary line. Tars have numbers here. Can they work them? Bugler. Put the smother on him and gave him a bit to go on with as well, did Sam Audio. And Bugler didn't like it and Audio didn't like that he didn't like it.
That's all right. That's what you want to see. That's why fans come to the football.
Bit of jumper punching.
Pushing and shoving there.
So pack of players get around it. Tars will come away with it. Searching kick for Fraser Jennings. Took the nice mark inside defensive 50. He's got a player there if he wants to go to him. And Jenkins, he does. Jenkins takes the mark. So they're in the corridor. So we can't be critical of them going wide. And that we can be critical of that because he just went too far under the footy and jumped and left it behind. And that was Dan Nicholson. Not that we'll tell Dan Nicholson, who's got that AFL experience, how he should mark a footy. Here's Palmerston coming forward with McMasters right down to the goal line. Look at that. All just too easy. Open down there and running in. Alwyn Davey kicks the goal. Easy as you like.
That's the turnover, Charlie. That's the one that hurts. And again, we've seen a great kick inboard from Jennings. And the kick was spot on. Just misread the footy, timing wasn't great, turnover and bang bang. Alwyn Davey in the goal square by himself.
5 goals to 2 in the term. For Palmerston, they led by 31 at half-time, 7-10 to 3-3. They've pushed it out now 12-10 to 5-6. So they've kicked 5 goals without a miss, and that's because none of those goals have been particularly difficult for them.
Yeah, and 7 multiple goal scorers there, so they certainly get spreading the goals amongst the players. And yep, Waratahs just have to keep battling away.
Velastro, they got him thrown into the ruck now. Pierce Little trying to get out of the middle with the footy. They've held him up and the free kick's played. I reckon it's a Pierce Little free kick.
Yeah, tackle just slipped up on that occasion.
Now, it wasn't the Waratah player who didn't give it back correctly to Pierce Little. It was one of his teammates. They were hoping to get 50 out of it.
Nice try.
Didn't quite work. Frankie Robinson got rid of that. High up and under kick. Just gone the distance. You wouldn't think so. Robinson's handball out to Jennings. Jennings' kick forward was good. McDonald right to the top of the goal square. Big pack down there. Nicholson underneath it. Can he get a go? It's picked up by Althouse. He's got his second.
Great work by Sam Godden there. Even though the free kick was to Palmerston in the centre square, he snuck behind to create a bit of pressure, followed up, got the ball to McDonald. McDonald just nice and high kick, and Nicholson with his experience front position create the contest and allows Basil Althouse to get his second.
He's given Dusty Briscoe the runaround. Couple of goals in the quarter. Becomes the second multiple goal scorer. His teammate down there, Nicholson's got 2 as well. They're not going away, Tars. It's a good sign. You like to see it in a team that's down and out. They are down and out, no doubt about it, but they're struggling each week. They just keep working away. Win this out of the middle by Velastro. Good tap down by him. Lots of busy Palmerston players in there through Aaron Davey. Just lots of class, isn't it, for them?
Yeah, across the board, Charlie. And that allows them to have more rotations as well, and I think that hurts Waratahs when they do rotate. They lose a little bit through the midfield and through the forward line when they have to start shuffling players around to give them a break.
Alwyn Davey down there, Pierce Little. They're the 2 players for Palmerston down there. I can see Matthew Blake down there for Waratah. Here's Palmerston with Shanahan to the pocket, and he's just gone too wide. I reckon it's just bounced in the field of play and gone out. So what have we travelled? 19, nearly 20 minutes. It's been a reasonable quarter of footy. I reckon the skill level might have lifted a little bit in this quarter to what we saw in the first half. Why is that? The sun went down.
Exactly.
Got a little cooler.
And it's easy for us to say that up here, Charlie.
Yeah, it is.
Not a real lot of change in the wind conditions, but obviously the sun's gone down and created a little bit of coolness for the players.
Jenkins doing some good work to get that ball out for Tars. It's going to be a Tars free kick across their half-back line. Alistair Darcy says, look, I'll be in your hip pocket if you want to give it to me. It's over the back, whereas Lachlan Durkay onto it. And then his kick forward just didn't hit the target he wanted. Here's McMaster under pressure. Paddled out. And then the handball was good. The runner goes past. This is Lonigan. Lonigan's kick inside 50, and Bugler takes a terrific mark, like a good defender should. And he is a good one. There's not many better than him. Gee, tell you what, I'd like to see him lined up on Will Farrer. He's in top form.
Yeah.
Nine goals today for Southern Districts, and just outstanding.
That would be a great battle. Will Farrow on 22 goals leading into this round, and he kicked 9 today, so was that 31? He's streaking out in front.
Kick 100 this year. Wouldn't be the first one at Southern Districts. I've had a few out there. Jakovic, remember it was Alan Jakovic, wasn't it, that played for Palmerston, for Southern Districts all those years ago? Kicked 100, didn't he?
Gerard Atkins, Ashley Wedding did. Cupido.
Yeah.
Those full forwards there, they've been quite blessed with damaging full forwards out at Southern Districts. Shannon Rusker's network working there.
Clark didn't quite know what to do with that footy, and in the end he turned it over and it finished up with Sam Audio. And the runner is Jeddah. Jeddah has a look over his shoulder. Green blue boots shining, bangs away at goal, and he kicks it. No problem at all. Leroy Jeddah in full flight's a good sign.
Just all class, isn't he? He just does it with ease. A couple of steps and kicks a goal from about 50, 55 metres, and you just can't stop that. he's just a class player.
I'm surprised that's his first goal. I thought he would have had more than that today, but he's gives them off, does he? There's number 9 there. That's man.
Yep, well, he brings his name onto the scoring sheet, and I would expect him to feature pretty well in the possession stakes as well.
It's the coach, Sean Cusack, co-coaches.
Yeah, and you can just see the dividend paying off by having Sean Cusack in the links to Central Australia with a handful of players that have come across to Palmerston. So things are going okay.
To get the call, hello, it's Sean here. Oh. It's very cold in Alice today. Do you want to come out and play footy in Darwin? Sure. Good work. Darcy got across, put his fist on that just when the mark looked to be pretty safely in the hands for Palmerston. Up towards the wing, Frankie Robinson called him a bit today. Nicholson's kick's good. Handball came out wide here. Here's Rowan Smith for Palmerston. Leaves it a little short, and they mucked up the handball. Trying to get it away was Aaron Lonigan, but they could go back and they can reload from their half-back line. Straight into the hands of Shanahan. Kicked the goal in this quarter. And the loping player gets it on his chest and then dropped it. Would you believe it was none other than Sam Audio?
Yeah, if closer to goal, he would have eat that one up.
No, that's a fair call there by the did. So it's definitely a Waratah free kick, and it's big Velastro. Pumps it out long. Underneath it, Harder couldn't take the mark. Jetta teases, takes the bounce. Now he can go a long way here if he wants to. They're ambling after him, but he then elects to kick and kicks nicely and gave it off to Sharp. Sharp's kicked 3 goals. He's outside 50. Gave it back to Jetta. So he looked after his mate who gave it to him in the first place. Jetta goes along the boundary line with the kick that wasn't good enough, and Palmerston can clean up here. Oh, horrible tackle there on Kenaway, sends him to the ground. And they're getting a little frustrated down there.
Yeah, heavy tackle there. I think it was all fair on the side as he kicked, but great run there by Jetta out on the wing. Just toyed with his opponent on that occasion. It looks like he's coming off with cramp, so that's not a good sign for Waratahs.
Brown was getting monstered down there. That's Brown there. He comes back pretty well. Got the handball away. It's another effort from him. He's had about 4 goes in all of that, and then finally got it clear to a teammate who turned it straight over, and Mitch Holt takes the mark at 50 for Palmerston. And he turns it over. Strong mark taken down there, this time by Alistair Darcy. Uses Bugler on the wraparound. Kicks it out towards the wing. He's got a ball in front of him to chase now, has Blake. Can he get away? Oh, they got to him. And he's been penalised. He tried to run away, but he was never going to be fast enough to get away from Davey, who has terrific pace over about 10-15 metres. He was going to catch him in a hurry, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's a player on the far side that was cramping a bit, so everything was working against him, unfortunately.
Audio to Lachlan Durkay in the corridor. Sends it up towards full forward. Big pack of players.
All Waratahs.
Yeah, Angus Clark, one of them. Bugler gave the handball away, stolen by Palmerston. Snapshot at goal's a beauty. That is a great goal kick there. It might have been Aaron Davey.
Certainly was. Lethal left foot there, and just going back to that contest, there was a big pack of players, but they're all Waratahs, so yeah. A little bit of talk there, and allowing one of their players to take the mark, you avoid that kind of situation. But Palmerston front and centre, stay under the ground. Nice snap by Aaron Davey.
Well, they kicked, what did they kick? Seven goals in this quarter. 7 goals. Shanahan's got 1, Stevenson 1, Jetta 1, Sharp 1, Alwyn Davey 1, and Aaron Davey 1. So Palmerston was 7 goals to answer the 3 that Waratah have kicked, 2 to Basil Oldhouse and 1 to Nicholson in this quarter. And the lead's a pretty good one. It'll be a long quarter, I think. 17-10 to 6-6. Audio. Tars up and under. Now the raffle. 1 Waratah player, 2 Palmerston players. Waratah player slung out of it's drawn a free kick. And why shouldn't he get it? He was going for the footy. Jack Hatcher, been around a long time.
Yeah, it's good to see all players' eyes for the footy there. So don't understand why there's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Let's get the footy going forward, boys. Straight to Luke Harder.
Oldhouse from behind. Holthouse on the chase too. He almost got. He did well to get to Durkay, but Durkay's kick was still effective. Got to Pierce Little up on the edge of the square. Corridor to Audio. And Audio now is going to send it out very wide. And he wants a player to run on this. This is Sharp. He's got 2 to beat Sharp. He won't beat Bugler. Bugler's such a good defender. Uses it well. Sends the handball out towards the wing. Siren brings it to an end. 3/4 of footy, and that was a pretty entertaining quarter there from both sides. Palmerston in particular had a big quarter there. 14-10, they lead Waratah 6-6. Jared Ide had some comments.
Yeah, great quarter of footy. Certainly better than the first 2. About 10 goals all up from both sides, Charlie. So that's what we want to see. That's what the fans come in the footy. Waratah's Darcy's been super. Bugler in the back line. Nicholson really came into that quarter for Waratah's on that occasion. But for Palmerston, again, they're just all class with the Davey boys coming into the game. Sharp still getting plenty of footy. Leroy Jetta putting a stamp on the game as well.
62 points the margin. It was 31 at half-time. They've doubled their lead. Palmerston, the Maggies lead here at 3/4 time over Waratah. 14-10 to 6-6.
Just another beautiful day in the territory, Al.
Doesn't get any better.
You guys catch anything yet?
Nah, nothing yet, but we're feeling lucky.
See you later.
Road tyres.
Yeah, soft sand.
And a 7-metre tide.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong?
Plenty.
Local knowledge is important. Talk to us about TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. Call us today on 131 TIO. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I don't know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1 bun with icing. No pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jade. Tom. Play on, Matty, straight out. Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball. Play on. Yes! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
So underway in this last quarter. Let's see what they can do here, Tars. Can they close that gap a bit? It's out to 62 points. Let's give you those margins. 14 points Palmerston quarter time, 31 at half, 62 at three-quarter time. Jared Eilert's going to tell us. He's going to put the case why Waratah can close the gap and win the last quarter.
Well, they certainly had a better quarter in the third, Charlie, where they just put a bit of pressure at one-on-one footy. Got some momentum going forward to one-on-one contest there, and Nicholson coming into the game, and Abraham Anchors was able to get some centre clearances and some pressure around the ground, around the footy. If they can continue to do that, they'll be able to get a few more scoring shots.
Durkay with the old catch me if you can. Goes up towards the wing. Good kick from him too. Was nice. Straight into the hands of Holt Tubbs. He's got 3 goals. Billy's out the back to McMasters. Gets to 50. Bounces. He's going to go all the way. Will he give the handball? No, he didn't. And why should he kick the goal himself? He had audio in the goal square. Was thinking, I'm a bit of a chance here. Then he looked up and said, no, not really. And McMasters took on the job and did it.
That's what you want to see from young players, and good on him. He did all the hard work. He outrun his opponent there, and great front and centre, and just backed himself in there with his pace, and nice skill to finish the goal. Lucky he did, otherwise audio would have sprayed him. Yeah,
he would give him a big spray. So would the coach, I reckon. Just for teams finishing on, Southern Districts led St Mary's by 73 points at three-quarter time. They won every quarter by lots, but Saints outscored them in the last quarter, 3 goals to 2, and recorded a pretty good win.
Yeah, well, that's what you want to see from the better clubs. You want to see them play 4 quarters, and I guess the Southern Districts didn't quite finish the job on that occasion, but they're certainly well in front, and you can set yourself up by doing the hard work early.
So it didn't help Palmerston's case that McMasters kicked the goal and had audio standing in the goal square by himself anyway if he wanted to go over the top. Hard to sense it out wide. Godden puts it in a little bit closer, so they can get one back here. Ball in the hands of Abe Anchors. Matt Rosier, who plays for Southern Districts, not playing this week, but he's an Alice Springs player as well, isn't he?
Absolutely. He's one of my favourite players, Matty Rosier. Just hard at it. There's nothing to him, but he just goes all day, and great tackler.
Come on, Abe. Starts it out to the left and it swings back nicely. Good kick, good goal.
Yeah, it's a great kick by Aaron Anchors, and he deserved that. He worked pretty hard in the third quarter to get some centre clearances and get his body and get his head over the footy. So not overly convincing kick, but swung back at the right time and a nice goal.
It's him there in the centre. And that's the other man in there that's doing plenty of the work as well. They've got a few that are doing lots of good work, but Luke Hart is the one they want to really fire up. He's in the middle there as well for Palmerston. Umpire Ashley Manakaris there, number 7. He's been around a long time. Senior and the junior umpire working together here today. Young Ben Griffiths is all, I think he's about 17 years of age, and I think Ashley would be double that, wouldn't he? Maybe a little bit more.
No comment, Charlie.
He'll give me a hard time. I'll get a message on my messaging service from him. Turnover. Tars have got it. Here's Fraser Jennings.
Nicholson.
And Nicholson's going to run into an open goal and kick it and become the leading goal kicker for his team. He's got 3.
Yeah, well, he's a handy inclusion, and as soon as the sun went down, Charlie, you come into the game, so that's going to be something that Tim Weatherald is going to have to work on with his recruits when they come up. But he's certainly a classy player, nice left foot kick, and he's got 3.
So what do you do with training with a team like this who doesn't play that well in the heat of the day? Maybe you train at 3 in the afternoon or something. Oh, it's a big ask on teams, though, isn't it? Really.
It is. It's they're tough conditions, but everyone's got to play in it, and that's one of the battles that the coaches and the support staff and the players have to manage.
15-10 to 8-6. Almost double their score here. They've hit the ton, Palmerston. Out by 46 points. Get another goal here. There'll be an impressive win from the percentage is really hinted. It's a high tackle on Little. He's going to get the free kick. Pierce Little stood his ground. He's strong in the legs too, Pierce Little, because that was a high and heavy tackle on him, but he still didn't go to ground. But he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, he's certainly one of the tough operators in the competition, and I think he might have got a bit of a corky on that occasion.
Oh, big climb there. Mark nearly taken. That was harder, wasn't it? Got up there, ball held up. Smile on his face down there from Leroy Jetta. What's that funny hairstyle he's got? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I can't explain it. I can't describe it. Tars with the kick out of the pack to the defensive 50. Hatcher got to the footy. Spillage came out straight into the hands there of Matthew Blake. McDonald diving at the footy, bounces off his chest. He couldn't believe it. He gets a pat on the back from his teammate there. Robinson said it's all right.
He put himself in the right position, and a diving mark he couldn't quite pull off on that occasion. He probably got a bit of grass burn too.
Jared, that's just an ask. You don't see a lot of those injuries that you see in the southern footy where people get them around the shoulder area here, either from diving and, hyperextending the arm or get hit up around the shoulders. Remember Wayne Carey suffered with it for a long time. You don't see a lot of that in top end footy. Why is that?
Probably because it's open footy, but some of the teams do play quite physical brand, but overall it's a bit of space out there for players to sort of manoeuvre and avoid too much of that kind of contact.
Okay. He's running at the footy and not able to pick it up there was Thomas Brown. Back through the hands of Shanahan off from Daniel Russell, and now he got it across towards Keaton Holt. Tubbs has the mark at 50. So KHT, that's him there. Can he kick a goal from there? He's got 3, 2 in the first, 1 in the third. She's gone back a long way. He reckons he can get the distance. Not sure everyone's going to agree with him. He's a good young player, capable kicker. Gets the jog going. Well, he'll get just inside 50. He might get the distance from there. Will he get the distance? He does, but he misses it off to the right. Minor score.
Yeah, he's certainly on his limits there, and you can see by the run-up, he sort of went from a walk to a bit of a jog and started to go out wide. But he's certainly a player of the future for the Palmerston Magpies.
Players know their distance, Jared, don't they? I mean, they just have a look and they think, well, they know where they can kick from.
Yeah, and that's what your teammates, or good teams, and the teammates know your capabilities or limitations in those kind of instances. And you would have seen on some of the other clubs, players get around him to slip the handball that have got a bigger kick. And on that occasion, any of the Davey boys or Leroy Jetta, if they knew that, to get around him to kick that goal and make the distance.
So Palmerston were going forward, but Tars have turned it over, and now they've turned it back over again back to Palmerston with the handball over the top. McMasters, you can see McMasters is enjoying himself out there. He says, this is the caper, I love it. Here he's on the run going forward again. Meanwhile, Sam Audio goes down towards the goal square and just parking at the back there. Now he wants to play on. Why shouldn't he go in and kick the goal? Aaron Sharp, he's got another one. Kick full for the day.
Yeah, he just read that ball really well and got in the right position. And quite often left footers are forgotten that they are actually left footers, so players tend to go to the wrong side to put a bit of pressure on. On that occasion, Aaron Sharp just playing with his defender on that occasion.
Well, he's the leading goal scorer at the moment, Aaron Sharp. That goal takes him in front of about 3 other players who've got 3. And he goes to 4. So the others with 3. Holt Tubbs has got 3, McMasters has got 3, and Dan Nicholson from Tars has got 3. But Aaron Sharp's got 4. We go on 9 minutes, 8 minutes this last quarter. Heenan. Tars on the bill, down to centre half forward. Find a teammate under the footy. He just got a little bit too far underneath and harder with the clean-up. One way and then the other. His handball was clever. Back through Velastro. Velastro to a couple of Waratah players, 2-1, but the clean-up was pretty good. It was done by Mitch Holt for Palmerston, and the kick comes out wide here, straight into the hands of Aaron Davey, and he spears it inside 50. Did it well. Just always on the lookout for a better option upfield instead of going long.
Yeah, he just lowered the eyes on that occasion. It was tempting just to blaze away with Sam Audio, one out in the goal square, but we spoke about Palmerston's spread of better ball users across the field, and turnover in the middle. I think you called Church or whoever the defender was, spotted up Davey. Davey spotted up Hot Tubs, and he gets another crack at goal for his 4th.
Keaton Holtubs crosses the 50. That same approach we saw a short time ago. Can he straighten it up a little better this time? Looks like a good kick off the boot, and he's kicked the goal. So a good one for him. He goes, so he's not letting Aaron Sharp get away from him. He's got 4 now as well.
Yeah, a little bit of competition, in-house competition between the two forwards. Both super players, both very dangerous, and I guess when Palmerston come up against some of the top sides like Southern Districts and Wanderers, they've got a bit of firepower up forward to stretch the defence.
Do good teams play better footy against better teams than those below them?
Absolutely. And I guess that is an example. Finals are an example of that too. You know you're going to get a hard game. No one's going to give you a free kick. You have to earn everything, and that pushes you to play a lot better. On this occasion where I guess Waratah's up and down, there's not a lot of pressure, Palmerston don't really have to do too much to get the win.
Harder, he's been busy too, hasn't he? That's a nice kick. I think he's shown some quality today, Harder. Here's McDonald, top of the goal square, right across the face.
We certainly saw that from him when Waratahs played Wanderers going back to round 2 or 3 when we called that game, and he was a 4-quarter contributor. He played in the goal square, he went onto the ball, and just through perseverance he tried to keep his team in the competition, but he needs some help.
Yeah, they're down on manpower. Stepping back in was Abe Ankers. He's pantsed him. That's unfair. You get a free kick for that. Tars have got it deep in their back line, well across their half back line, down at the 50-metre line. What have you made of his game today, the big number 27, Daniel Russell?
Russell, yeah, he's certainly a handy inclusion for Palmerston, and he's certainly won the ruck battle for mine against Clark. And again, finding a big ruckman, specialised ruckman, is quite rare in NTFL football, so that's a great pickup by Palmerston.
Wonder where they got him from. They got Matt Dennis, who plays a bit of footy for them, and he's a ruckman come centre half forward, but he's an outstanding player. But you'd imagine if they had both those two players in the side, Palmerston will look pretty. They'll be pretty impressive, I reckon.
Yeah, I think their squad has a lot of depth, and they've certainly got the talent through the small players, through the quicks, through the skill, and I think even through those players putting pressure on him, if they can complement those smalls with a couple of big boys, in which they're doing. They'll be pretty hard outfit come finals time.
Nicholson with clean hands. Took a strong mark. There's that turnover kick again that just lets the team down a little bit. Aaron Lonigan. Palmerston with the kick inside 50. Keaton Holtz went the jump. Here's Heenan out the outside of the left boot. Comes away with a minor score.
Yeah, that one there, sharp there, Charlie.
Sharp
He's left footer, and didn't want to try a right foot snap. If you got four goals against your name, I would have had a crack at your opposite side, but couldn't quite get it through the big sticks on that occasion.
Justin Bugler to bring it back in. Who's he got? He's got a player upfield if he can go to him in Thomas Brown. But he went out a little bit wider, and he did find the target, but Cotton couldn't complete the mark. And Leroy Jetta gets it, and it swings back all a bit too late, minor score.
Yeah, Bugler trying to get the torpedo going there. Probably a little bit of frustration. There wasn't a lot of options. Just trying to get distance, really. Didn't quite come off from him, and lucky on that occasion that Leroy Jetta missed it.
Oh, gee, that was a bad kick. And they'll be punished here. That kick was just too high. You know, it's made it really difficult, and Palmerston came through with Shanahan, I think it was, just onto that loose ball, kicked the goal. Affected the spoil, got the spillage and cleaned it up.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. A few comments going back a couple of minutes about Palmerston not having to actually exert themselves and extend themselves to actually get the football. And I think obviously the better teams push you to do that, whereas the turnovers from Waratahs throughout the game have just allowed Palmerston to scoop it up and clean it up and have a bit of space and have shots at goal.
How are you feeling, Joe? You haven't played for a while now. You retired? You missed the game? We're just watching it. Do you miss it?
Oh, I do miss it, Charlie. Mentally, you think, yeah, I can still do that, but the body doesn't quite and the legs don't quite match up to what your head's saying. In saying that, I did fill a gap on the bench for the St Mary's Div 1 team last week.
Oh, how'd you go?
We got to win. We got to win by 1 point, and my legs are just coming good now.
You need some, so you can't train. You need some recovery time for a week or something.
Yeah, exactly. My priority is helping out the women's team actually in a running, coaching kind of role. So it's all good. Still involved.
Would you play some more?
I've outlined where the game matches up, where I can sit on the bench if they need players. If they've got players, I'm happy to miss.
Oh. So I thought there was a boundary up there for a second, but it was the central umpire who was throwing it up. So Palmerston with the kick from the back pocket. Comes out towards the half back line, but that man that's kicked a couple of goals in the game takes a good strong mark down there, Basil Oldhouse. And he goes for goal right to the goal line, and he got it to Nicholson, and I reckon he's kicked the goal. I reckon Dan's kicked the goal. He has. He can thank the man he's fighting with. to be the leading goal kicker. They had 3 each, but now didn't he? Had 3 already. Now he's got 4, Nicholson, and Oldhouse has got 2.
Well, Nicholson, since he moved forward in the second half, he's been very dangerous and lively. And Oldhouse, no mucking around, took the mark, swung onto the right boot, just got it deep into the forward line. Could have gone through a goal. Nicholson could have shepherded for a goal, but when you need to have a crack at everything, he certainly made the right decision, and he got the goal as a reward.
So 18-13, would you believe it, is that scored a 9-6. Southern Districts beat Tars 18-17 to 9-7. So they, I was going to say, this looks like a better performance from Tars, and maybe it is, but certainly the scoreline suggests that it's not any better than what they've already had. And here's Palmerston going forward yet again. Sharp the kick at goal, misses.
Yeah, he could have 3, 4 extra goals against his name there. So he's certainly getting plenty of opportunity.
Bugler, busy in defence. He's like the wicket keeper, isn't he, back there, doing all the hard work.
Yep. The goalie.
16 minutes gone. Game coming up after this one, Nightcliff and the Darwin Buffaloes. Earlier, Wanderers beat the Tiwi Bombers over at Warramiyunga on Bathurst Island. And the game here, Southern Districts had a big win over St Mary's. Fraser Jennings, good vision. Harders the go-to man. You'd imagine you had 3 or 4 harders up there. Across half forward, you'd be right, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And Sam Gordon off the left foot.
Bang, bang. Thank you very much.
Very good. Nice clean play through the midfield. Transfer of play into the centre corridor, and some hard running there by Sam Godden, and good reward. Luke Harder deserves some credit. He's been in most things for Waratahs, and just through sheer will, he's trying to lift his team, and a good reward for effort on that occasion.
Do you know what? I just get the feeling, Jared, that I reckon Waratahs have turned a little bit of a corner here. Midway or early in that third quarter, they start to play a much better style of footy than they've done for a long time. The score line doesn't reflect it, but the way they are playing, I reckon it's an improvement.
Yeah, I agree. Great observation, and I think that's just through players wanting to play one-on-one footy, getting in front of their opponent, getting first hands to the ball, and they're starting to create opportunities by doing that.
Yeah, McDonald again. It's a little bit out of position. The kick wasn't the best. It was always going to make it difficult. You need a better kick than that going forward, but they did win it outside 50.
At least the turnover is a little bit deeper inside the forward 50, whereas in the first half, the turnover was always going to be on the flank, and that just hurts you going back the other way. It allows the midfield a bit more time to pick up and play one-on-one footy.
Some loose checking there. Here's Audio with some space to work in. They've got him. They should nail him here. They didn't. They let him get away with it. Came out through Heenan. Heenan's kick forward was really good and finds Keaton Holt Tubbs running with the flight of the ball. Takes the strong mark. Now just chip it out. He didn't have to do that. Or was he calling for it? Maybe he was calling for it. It's hard to ignore someone calling to you.
It is. I guess when Keaton Holt-Tubbs has got 4 goals to his name, he can afford to give a couple off his teammates, and it is good to reward the runner if someone's pushing forward, and you can bank that for future games. And it encourages players to do that.
Stevenson's kick's a good one. Measures it nicely, kicked his 2nd goal for the match. One in the 3rd, one here in the 4th. So those major goal scorers, Sharp's got 4, Holt-Tubbs has got 4, Masters has got 3. Done all the damage for the Black and Whites.
Yeah, and I think that's just through mainly through space. Uncontested mark there for Zach Stevenson, but credit to him pushing forward and working into space, and he gets the reward.
19-14 to 10-6. It's a big margin, isn't it? Heenan wins it out of the middle, bangs it up once. Jeddah gets in front position, goes to the ball. Best used the handball, got it out over to Aaron Davey. Won't miss from there, will he? Not likely.
No chance, and that hurts. That hurts Waratahs. They've worked really hard. They've lifted their work rate. They've lifted the intensity, and a couple of sharpshooters in Zach Stevenson and Aaron Davey just finds a tiny bit of space to make them pay, and that hurts the pride.
And Leroy Jeddah to Aaron Davey, gee, you'd be calling AFL footy, wouldn't you? At the highest level. 2 players with great AFL experience. More so Aaron Davey. Up to 20 goals, 14 to 10-6, so they're more than double their score now. They do win a tap, Waratah out of the middle, but they don't get clear. They put Harder in there. Harder, Nicholson, I think you can build around those players.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that, Charlie. Look, the best thing for Waratahs, and hopefully the coach gets the, I guess, buy-in from his players, is that this group needs to get on the training track twice, at least twice, if not 3 times this week to build on this performance. I don't know if they're actually training as a group, and then this group needs to play again next week to start working on the deficiencies and start building on their strengths.
Short little kick, Davey. It was Alwyn Davey. Oh, what about that? Aaron Davey bangs another one through.
Just a masterclass now, just a show for the fans, and I'm sure the Palmerston Magpies faithful are liking the start that their team and their club are putting on for 2015-16. Some high hopes there, I reckon.
Time for party tricks. 3 goals to Aaron Davey. I was just looking through the Tars lineup. So you want to build a team around them. I'll tell you who you take out of here, and apologies to those that I miss out. But I reckon if you've got a team that's got an Alistair Darcy, Sam Talbot, you take Cringic, you got Bugler, Godden, and you got Angus Clark, and you got Luke Harder. I reckon you can build a pretty good team around that. Make that a nucleus of your team. There's probably 1 or 2 others there that you might want to add in, but you can build a team around that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll throw in Abraham Anchors there because he's shown a bit in the second half.
Yeah.
And then if you can bring in Josh Barton, who was an out, David O'Sullivan, and even Tim McCauley and the Graham brothers that played in round 2, there's certainly some positives. And then you've got Dominic Barry as well to come back in. So there is some hope. I think this group needs to just get on the training track, play together, more footy they can play together and learn how each other play is going to go a long way.
Hatcher probably the other one too that would find it, you'd put in that core group of players if you like.
Well, you know what you're going to get from Hatcher. You know you're going to get a battle from him week in, week out. So, and it's as simple as that, knowing what you're going to get from players, which I think this group are still trying to determine and trying to work out.
So if you can get half of your 22 as your nucleus bunch of players, that's not a bad position to be in, is it? And then you can work your way around that. You keep that 11, 12 players every week. You say, right, you commit to you. Unless you're injured, you're going to play, and then we're going to build around you.
Well, that's right, and it works both ways. If you, as a coach, identify that core group and that nucleus of players, and it's got to come back the other way. The players need to commit to it as well. So I guess no no going away. Getting to training on time and doing the work and setting the standards and getting buy-in from both sides.
Jared Eilert with us. You can deconstruct a team, can't you? I mean, if it's not working for you, you can pull it all to bits and just reconstruct it and come up with a new leadership group, come up with a new direction, new game plan that you're actually going to do. There's nothing wrong with doing that. No, and if you look at last week's game, we saw Tiwi Bombers throw some players around at different positions. They had Jason Puruntatameri play forward and Matthias Lilly play back, and it just didn't make any sense. And when they actually changed that back around, it actually all really worked for them. And I think Bugler down back is an obvious one. He had a stint up forward early in the game, but since he's gone back, he's settled things down a bit. Harder can actually play as a focal point up forward, but if he can go through the midfield, get fitter and go through the midfield and leave Nicholson one out, well, Nicholson's kicked 4 goals. Yes. So you can certainly start to work out where players are best suited and in what position. And then, of course, get big Angus Clark doing that ruck work. There's one other ruckman too, whose name just escapes me. Tommy Marsh. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So a bit of depth starts to come into it when you add all those names together. Here's Bugler that we were talking about. Out through Brown. Ball to ground. Just dispossessed very easily by Alwyn Davey, who just somehow caresses the ball in and gave it straight off to McMasters. McMasters looks out to his left. The kick's good. He tried to give it off to Sharp. Spillage comes back to Aaron Davey. Davey to the pocket with the kick was a nice one. Just cool under pressure, isn't he? Just a classy AFL. Players who've had AFL experience, they can get plenty of time. They just look like they're going at half pace. Well, he didn't even have to look up the ground. He knew where Sam Murillo was. He didn't even have to look to see where he was kicking it. He just quickly picked it up, put it on the left foot, and it fell into his lap. So, all class. Well, Sam with just 1 goal, he can double that. I thought he would have had more than that today. He's certainly been around there where the goals are being kicked, and that's a good kick. That's a goal for him, so he gets 2, so he's had a reasonable day. So they've had a lot of goal scorers. Yeah, well, I guess Sam Murillo would be relatively happy that the workload's been shared across his players. He's probably not happy that all the little blokes have kicked multiple goals and getting in the way of a full forward. As a full forward, you want to be the man. You want to be the one kicking the goals. You're the focal point. But it just goes to show the depth and the versatility that Palmerston have in their forward line. Well, 9 goal scorers, 22 players. That's pretty good return. If you're going to get, and most of those have kicked multiple goals as well. 26 minutes gone. And this game was well sorted out, I reckon, early in that second term when Palmerston kicked away, and it's fun time now. Here's Jetta. He's been tripped. He gets up, goes with a handball over the top. Jetta will run again to get this back. Will they get it to him? No, they tried to. Now they go to Jetta. He did all the hard work. He deserves to get it. That's out on the full. So Jetta's going to get a shot here. They ran hard at it. Did Thomas Brown get his boot on it? So Jetta's the one who's going to get the free kick on the boundary line. Will he be of the mind to give it to someone, or will he have a shot? Well, Alan Davies sort of sitting. No, Aaron Lonergan tried to put a block on, but he's got no choice now. Everyone's manned up. And why not? Do that far in front. Can he kick the impossible goal? He's gone with the banana and just a little too wide. Went right across the face. Wonder what the success rate of the banana is. I reckon it's around about 30%, isn't it? Yeah, we'll get our stats man onto that next week and take out a new category, banana checkside kicks. Please, Kieran. Here's the throw in. So he reaches from the back. That big tall man again, Angus Clark, doing some good work down there. Snap comes out of the pack. Thank you very much. That's a goal. And that's Aaron Lonergan. So he's a handy player for the Palmerston Magpies, and right spot. Right in front of goal, and nice one out of the pack. And he becomes the 10th goal scorer for Palmerston. He's a single, but his team marches ever onwards. 21-14 to 10-6. Earlier today, Tiwi Bombers beaten by Wanderers 17-12 to 16-13, and the game before that, big win to Southern Districts. They hammered St Mary's here, led all day to win in the end by 69 points, 19-9 to 7-12. No Sunday footy in Darwin this week. All the games decided on the Saturday with that trip over to Warramayunga. And the late game coming up here, as I said, between Nightcliff and the Buffaloes. Into the middle he comes. Siren brings it to a close. Cringer got the last kick. The game was well decided a long way back. Palmerston winners here. 23-14 to Waratah. 10-6. Let's get some closing comments from Jared Island.
Yes, the second half was certainly better, Charlie. Some open footy, some free-flowing footy, and Waratahs, I think, worked their way into the game through pressure. For Waratahs, Darcy, although I think he was injured in the last quarter, I didn't see him out there. He was definitely their best player. Bugler, Nicholson and Anchors, I thought, went well for Waratahs, and add harder to that name as well over 4 quarters. And you can pick anyone from the Palmerston Magpies. Obviously, the goal scorers with Sharp and Holt Tubbs, but McMaster's Durico I thought played pretty well, but then Alwyn Davey, Aaron Davey and Leroy Jetta.
So big win here today for Palmerston over Waratahs. It follows the big win in the game earlier, Southern Districts over St Mary's, but they are home here. The Black and Whites, the Maggies win 23-14 to Waratah. 10-6. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of round 5 of the NTFL match. Jared Eilert with me here in our box here at the TIO Stadium. Great win to Palmerston.
The Magpies are a mighty club, we know. We celebrated our Magpie club, let's go. We'll win the fight, we'll show our might, we'll do our best for the black and white. For we're mighty proud of the mighty black and white.